What's going on, everybody? Yes, I'm back. I did go on vacation because Lord knows I needed it. I hadn't been on a real vacation really in over a year, and even then, it was with some of my political friends. So all we did for most of the trip was talk politics. But I'm back. I'm glad to be back. Thanks for all the well wishes and all the love that you all have been sending. I've missed you all too. And now it's time to get back to business. So speaking of back to business, Nina Turnup is back at it. In case you don't know who Nina Turnup is, that is Nina Turner's alter ego. Because we all know, like I said, Nina Turner is a God-fearing woman. Okay, she is a God-fearing woman, which means she treats everybody like a brother and sister, and she wishes no ill will on anybody. Her motto is hard on policy, soft on people. But then there's the other side of Nina. It's usually comes out if you mess with her senator, Bernie Sanders, if you mess with her friend Susan Sarandon, if you mess with her sister Tulsi Gabbard. This is the part of Nina that just cannot take it. Y'all remember the CNN interview when they were talking back and forth about black people in the Democratic Party and how, and Trump, and she just was looking around like, I can't do it. I can't listen to it. In the middle of the interview, like while the woman was still talking. That's Nina Turnup. And so she has come back once again to pay us a visit because Neera Tanden decided to open her mouth. And I don't understand why Neera Tanden keeps talking as if she knows how to win an election, because she doesn't. And the reason why Neera Tanden opened her mouth was to once again smear Susan Sarandon, who has been talk about a champion of the progressive movement. Susan Sarandon has seemingly been on the right side of history for at least the last 6 or 7 years, at least that. But my assumption is that she's probably been on the right side of history for a lot longer than that, considering just her conviction and dedication to the truth and to progress for all, not just for the elite. She's constantly put her personal brand on the line to do what's right time and time again. And so Neera Tanden quote tweeted, and this was a tweet talking about Susan Sarandon and the speech she gave where she said Bernie wasn't a Republican, like some of the presidential candidates, doing little pop shots at Elizabeth Warren. I'm here for it. But Neera Tanden had to respond like this on Twitter. News like this has become a commonplace, and every once in a while, I just want to thank Susan Sarandon for her campaigning, not just voting third party. Instead of working to stop Trump, she helped him. That's voter shaming. That's vote shaming. Now, here is what Nina's response was. You have some nerve, Neera Tanden. It's your area of expertise to start mess. She really wanted to say start shit, but she's a God-fearing woman, like I said. God-fearing, okay? She ain't gonna bring that on Twitter. Maybe behind closed doors, she's had some other words she wants to let off on Neera Tanden, but on Twitter, she likes to keep it PG. So she goes on to say, last time I checked, this is America, and folks have the right to vote for who they want. Get off Susan Sarandon. She does not answer to you. Oof. Bringing that heat. Bringing that fire. Oh, I'm telling you, I love when Nina gets worked up like that. Because everybody else gets galvanized. And when everybody's galvanized, we get work done for the progressive movement. I love it. I really do. And you often see people unify behind that type of fire that Nina always brings to the table. Now, I do want to address a couple of things in Neera Tanden's tweet. She tried to come at Susan Sarandon, who is another woman, after Neera constantly and regularly plays victim in saying that women should be supporting other women. But we know what that really means. We know that means that women should support other women in the establishment no matter what, and only support women if they're in the establishment. If they stand up to the establishment, well, you don't deserve that support. Isn't that right, Neera? Now, she also goes on to say that Susan Sarandon did not only vote for third party, but she actually went and campaigned for third party. Who was Jill Stein? That's beautiful. She said that's like it's a bad thing. Jill Stein was an amazing candidate. Jill Stein brought the real Green New Deal to the conversation with such brilliant marketing, clearly, that the establishment has now co-opted the phrase Green New Deal and offered a watered-down version of it. Jill Stein is the reason that there are paper ballots in Pennsylvania, because she found out that, of course, the Democrats and the Republicans were cheating through her lawsuits that the Democratic Party tried to prevent from taking place. By the way, Jill Stein, Dr. Jill Stein, is a fantastic candidate and an even better human being, and it only makes sense that Susan Sarandon would campaign for her after you all cheated Bernie. What, you thought she was just going to fall in line? It's funny that Neera Tanden likes lobbing blame on Susan Sarandon, but you won't lob any blame on Hillary, who refused to campaign in key states. You won't lob any blame on Hillary, who clearly had all the money in the world and all the momentum going in. Because like everybody was just so tired of Donald Trump, they were like, well, man, a stick could beat this, man. Clearly not. And yet she failed. Hillary, with 40 years of political experience, an entire machine, not only domestically, but internationally behind her. And she couldn't get the job done. And yet I don't see you lobbying any, not even constructive critiques at Hillary. But what's even more interesting is that you're trying to claim that Susan Sarandon somehow handed Donald Trump the election when Jill Stein supposedly didn't even get 5% of the vote. And what's his name? Gary Johnson didn't even, well, he got close to 5%, but didn't even get that either. And Susan only campaigned for Jill Stein. Now, Jill Stein was an amazing, like I said, I was a surrogate for Jill Stein. And I'd do it again if the moment she called me, if we were in the general election and Tulsi for whatever reason or Bernie for whatever reason didn't make it, I would absolutely get it back out there and start campaigning for Jill Stein. I'll speak wherever she wants me to. I don't care if it's here or Timbuktu, because that's how amazing of a person she is and that's how amazing of a candidate she is. Susan Sarandon demonstrated that she actually has conviction, that she doesn't vote or support based off of party affiliation, but based off of a little letter D or a little letter R or dollar sign, which is probably more appropriate to describe both parties. She doesn't do that. She does the right thing. Now, there may be plenty of blame to go around for Donald Trump getting elected. Also, you kind of do have to give credit to Donald Trump. He did win 280 characters at a time. Can't take that away from him. But there may be plenty of blame to go around within the Democratic Party and on the left. But Susan Sarandon, Nina Turner, and the like have nothing to do with that. They did what they thought was best, which is not campaigning against any particular candidate, but campaigning for the candidate that they believe best represents their interests and the interests of the people. And that is why they hold no animosity towards Jill Stein. That is why they hold no animosity towards the Green Party. And even Nina, when she made her announcement as president for our revolution, made it very clear. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Libertarian, red, blue, purple, or yellow. If you're the most progressive candidate, then you will get that Our Revolution endorsement. Because that's what it's about. Progress. Not your ego, not your job, but progress. Now, I do want to get to this part where Nina said, Neera Tanden, it's her area of expertise to start mess. Because it brings me to a really good question. Now, Neera, every now and then you see her on Bill Maher saying stupid shit. You also see her on Twitter, mostly and almost exclusively. And we know that she does something or another at Center for American Progress, maybe. And it reminds me of this. Y'all ever seen Martin? People from my generation, I know y'all know what Martin is. Some of you younger people, you may not know. But Martin was a hilarious show starring Martin Lawrence. And he had this group of friends. Now, one of these friends, his name was Tommy. And he would always say stuff, and then he would be alluding to this idea that he had a job, right? He'd be like, hey man, if you're running short on pens for your office, I can just bring some from my job. And everybody will look at him and be like, Tommy, you ain't got no job. Because but every time he says, yeah, I'm about to go to work. Where you work at? Oh, man, come on, man, That's Neera Tanden. That is Neera Tanden in politics. What the hell does Neera Tanden do other than go on Twitter? She is on Twitter all day. Her team isn't tweeting this stuff out. This is Neera Tanden. Responding to people, blocking people. She's supposedly on the board of Center for American Progress, have no idea what she is doing there. Has she won campaigns before? Is she a writer for Think Progress? Is she a strategist? Like, what does she do other than be a nuisance in the sides of progressives? Nothing. Literally nothing. But she's out here telling people like Susan Sarandon, like Nina Turner, who are on the ground working, that they need to put their actual labor, their power and influence behind the candidate that she chooses, behind other limousine liberals like herself who get paid to do what? To do nothing, basically? To lose elections? Blow through $1 billion? That's what you get paid to do, isn't it? You got the nerve to tell them who they should and shouldn't vote for, who they should and shouldn't support. Last time I checked, this is a democracy, albeit a crumbling one, considering how much the Democrats and Republicans constantly try to rig it, but it is a democracy nonetheless. And Susan Sarandon, Nina Turner, myself, and anybody else is absolutely free to vote for, support whoever, and throw their money behind whoever they believe best represents their interests. And fortunately for us, the likes of Nina and Susan Sarandon don't even think about their own interests. They think about the interests of the American people, which is why Susan Sarandon constantly puts her brand on the line in the Hollywood industry that we know is partial towards neoliberals and the establishment. And Nina Turner sacrificed her Ohio Senate seat to back Bernie Sanders and even endorse him at the convention because she was campaigning with him rather than campaigning in Ohio, only to be denied the endorsement opportunity. So when you sacrifice like they have, but you still continue to use the platform that they have to do the right thing, they absolutely reserve the right to support who the hell they want to. And Neera Tanden, you have no right whatsoever to say anything about it. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get all of our notifications if you like that episode of Mikasa Sukasa. You can also help continue to grow our show by donating to our Patreon and helping us hit our goal of 500 patrons. But remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.